All right, so now we're going to be talking about graphing piecewise functions. So there are a couple of things about graphing piecewise functions that you need to be aware of. First thing you need to do is identify how many pieces there will be. Once you've identified how many pieces, you have to identify where those pieces will be. So like x is less than 1, you have to figure out where to put that line, okay? And then actually graph the dang thing. That is part of it. It is a thing. You need to graph. It's a thing. All right, so I'm going to graph this. The first thing I'm going to notice is that this thing has 2 pieces. All right, and there's a couple ways to graph this, and I'm going to show you the more manual way and then the more automatic way to do it. So the first thing you need to do in both functions is plug in the -2. So, well, there's 2 pieces. It's going to be splitting at -2, so I go to -2. I'm going to put a line just to remind me, hey, I know my thing splits right here. All right, so now I'm going to plug in -2. So this would be 2 times -2 plus 3, so that'd be -4 plus 3, that's -1. And that would be -2 comma -1 is going to be my first point. And this one has an equal sign, so that's going to be a solid dot. So -2, -1, solid dot. And then this one's to the right of -2. So then to the right, the next one is -1, so I plug in -1. So 2 times -2 plus -1 plus 3. And we get out 1. So then this one is -1, 1. And then we would plug in 0, because that's the next one over. And then from there, we can just kind of build up the rest of our function. We get 3, so then my number is 0, 3. So then it would be here, and then here. That's just kind of how this graph goes. It goes up like that. All right, so on the next one, I'm going to be plugging in -2 and left from -2. So -2, let's plug that in. So if we plug in -2, this is -2 plus 2. So that's going to end up being 2 plus 2 is 4. So this is -2, 4. And this is going to get an open dot. So this one over here got a closed dot. This one over here is going to get an open dot. So at -2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my open dot. Okay. Then I'm going to plug in -3. So this is going to be -3 plus 2 equals 5. Then I'm going to plug in -4. So this will be -4 plus 2 equals 6. So this was -3, 5, -4, 6. So this one looks something like that-ish. Okay, and that's my whole graph for that one. How you feeling? So you figure out where the split is, and then you can manually plot each point. All right? The other way to do this is to figure out where the split is and then not manually plot each point. Use the slope and actually plot it. Okay, so this one is going to be splitting at 3. So I'm going to go find 3. I'm going to create the split. So there's the split. Okay, so I'm going to plug in 3 into this equation. And this is everything right of 3. So now this is going to be, so I'm going to plug in 3 so I can figure it out, because this is going to be a solid dot on 3. So this is be 2/3 times 3, ends up being 2. And so this is 3 comma 2. So I go over 3, up 2, put a solid dot. Now my slope is 2/3, and going to the right, that means go up 2, right 3. And then up 2, right 3. I run out of graph, so it doesn't really matter. And obviously, you can continue to use the tables. You don't have to not use the tables, but you can also choose not to use the tables at all. I'm really lazy. I choose not to use the tables. Okay, on this next one, y equals 3. Now we're going to have an open dot at 3 because it doesn't have the equal line, and it's going to be 3. So this point would be 3, 3, and because they're all 3, this would be the point 2, 3, 1, 3. It's very boring when it just equals a number. So we're going to go to 3. We're going to have an open dot, and it's everything this way, solid, nice, and flat, on 3. Okay, how you feeling? Feeling okay? All right, I want you to go ahead and try this one, and then I'm going to do another one, all right? Okay, you've got this.